Play my music first. Hold on. All right.
It's J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Little technical difficulty. Didn't know we was rolling just yet, but glad everybody is here. I appreciate you. Definitely here with my lovely co-host Kelly. How you doing?
I'm good, Jay. How are you today? Happy Tuesday.
Oh yeah, definitely. Same to you. I'm all right myself. So tonight we got a couple topics. Shout out to Barika for sending me a couple videos during the week. That was interesting. And then we got a couple subjects that we gonna talk about. Um, talk about the importance of being equally yoked in a relationship, and if that's really still important to people, and should it be. And also we're gonna talk about this one person who is famous and for dating people, affluent men, and treating them kind of disposable, and that's Brittany Renner. And she was talking about how people shouldn't glorify people because they're famous and married. And I'm gonna play a video clip of what she said and some people talking about it. And also, this other guy was saying on another clip that women today treat men like they're disposable. And so I'm not so sure about that. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then also, if we have time, hopefully we do, we could talk about the family unit, and is it going extinct? Is it as important as it once was? That's something we kind of talked about in Discord,
Right.
about people with the family unit and everything. So definitely, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Hey, Derry, what's up, Derry? Kendall, definitely Kendall is in, and Kendall also sent me some pictures of her Rojas merch. I appreciate it, Kendall. Definitely, as well as Pretty Girl, definitely making the merch look good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, D Weave in the building. What's up? Tamika's Den, how you doing?
Hey
Big
guys.
Ron, what's up, brother? Nisha Hummingbird, how you doing?
Hi.
All right, definitely. So let's get into it. First, I'm gonna play this clip about Brittany Renner and what she was saying, and we'll talk about what these guys talk about. It's only a 1 minute clip, so let's see what this is saying, and then we'll talk about it. So here we go.
Okay.
All right, everybody can see it. Let's go.
Grew up in a 3-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch. Okay, what's the difference? A woman. Okay. A bad bitch is a person who's just, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part. Okay. And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs.
Oh boy.
Right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, like, but you can't cook. Okay. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead. I grew up in a 3-parent
All
household.
right.
My mom, my father.
So that was a very short clip with a whole lot in it.
Jay, that was heavy. That was very heavy.
I like the, oh boy. That was hilarious. Oh,
God,
boy. All right. So it's a lot in that 1 minute. We'll try to talk about a few of those things. So what do you think about what he's saying about these women out here that think they a bad bee, and what does that mean to you? And is that something that's cool or dumb? I mean, what does that mean?
Jay, I'm overwhelmed. I'm very overwhelmed right now. That was a lot. And this is the first time I'm seeing that clip. So it's like, oof.
I like to keep it fresh. These are fresh takes.
I get it, Jay. I get it. My raw reaction here. So here's what I kind of agree with him. Okay. I do. It's not easy to hear a man say that we need to learn how to be quiet, but in fact, sometimes we do, you know? So what he's saying, it sounds harsh, but I don't necessarily disagree.
See,
I'm not too old school where I'm not going to speak my mind, but communication has so many glitches now that women get into this and you don't listen, and then halfway down the line you realize, oh, I didn't even hear all of that. That's because you weren't interested in listening. You were just focused on putting out your opinion. And I'm not saying men don't do that too, but we have a, more emotional output. So we do find ourselves in that situation at times. So it doesn't mean that it sounds good to hear, though.
right. And I'm going to say this from a man's perspective. Men are very simple. Okay. And we don't go off of emotion as much, but we can get emotional. And here's how. As a man, it's a couple things you want. And when you come home, the number one thing a man is looking for is peace and relaxation when he come home.
Yes.
And if he comes home and now he's already had to do whatever he had to do out there in the world, now he got to come and hear it in his head from his lady, his significant other. It can drive a man to not like a person real easy. So when a man says, he said it, be quiet, it may not sound appropriate the way he described it.
Yeah.
But when I come home, I just need to chill for a minute. I need to relax. I don't want to hear a bunch of stuff. Women, when they come home, like to talk about their day, talk about this. Men don't want to talk about it. That's just how men are. We don't want to talk about it. Give me a minute. Let me relax, have a beer, sit down, chill. Right. Then after I eat, relax, then I may talk about it or whatever. But I don't want to hear about how I'm not communicating or doing this or do it. That's just not how men act. And now, of course, there's always exceptions to everybody. But most men, they want to relax. They want to chill. And, that's what he probably means by be quiet, chill, relax. Yeah. When he say be quiet, it do sound like he talking to a child.
Yeah, rough. It sounded rough.
That it didn't sound right. But that's what I took from that. When I come home, I want some peace, quiet, chill for a minute. Some dudes maybe want to smoke, drink. Maybe those ain't the best things to do, but if that's what they are doing for the moment, it could be worse things. So, maybe some dude want to have something to eat. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they say learn how to cook, this, that, and the other. Because what are you offering other than sex all the time? Some men maybe don't want to have sex as soon as they walk in the door. They tired from work. Now they got to go put in some work on you. So, it definitely take a little bit of that. Tamika says, does he know how to be a man? That could be my question. That's a good thing. So what would you be looking for to be a man? He said a couple things about what he would want from a lady. Kelly, what would you want your man to be able to do? Some qualities.
Well, let me say this first, right? What I like to do is, I talk about listening, Jay. I like to listen. So sometimes it may come from the wrong messenger, but you still got to listen to what somebody's saying. And before sometimes you ask, well, what could you do? You still have to pay attention to what the person is saying, because the minute you come back with what would you do, you don't, you're not really paying attention or grasping that point to address that part first. However, I do want a guy who can reason with me. If he's a type of person that wants to come home and just relax and stay quiet, then I need to know I shouldn't be, 10 miles a minute as soon as I come in and the story is still hype in my head. I'd know at that point that we need to relax a little bit, and then he'll hear me out. So not to cause conflict, or for him feeling like, oh my gosh, I just came home from this and now she's hitting me with this and I'm sounding like the cartoon character, But I need for this guy to understand me. And once he understands me, we can reason and figure out what our schedules look like, and we'll be cool.
Okay. So definitely good communication help.
That's an A, and all the rest of the letters are A's. Communication is the first thing.
Okay. All right. Tamika's Den, anything you think you would be looking for in a man besides good communication? I mean, we already know most women want a guy that's stable, and it depends on the age.
If we into the thing already, Jay, then we know that you got to have some sort of stability and stuff. If we got to the point where we coming home to one another,
right. You still struggle on the struggle bus, and you in your 40s or late 30s. Something must have happened to the car or something. Then you can't just be trying to get your first car,
right?
Like what you did the last 20 years. So
no.
But yeah. So let's see that clip again. He had a lot to say.
And it was harsh. It was harsh.
And one thing about that clip is that it says right here in the caption, Brittany Renner claps back at being deemed less than Aisha Curry. That's Steph Curry's wife. Being less than Aisha Curry or Savannah James. I'm not familiar with Savannah James. This is
that LeBron's wife?
Oh yeah, it sure is LeBron's wife. Mm-hmm. That's Savannah James on the right, Aisha Curry on the left. That's Brittany Renner in the middle. Okay. She says some women choose to suck D and shut up. Most men cheat with women who look nothing like their wife. Wow. So before we get into that, before we get into the rest of the clip, what do you think? You think she being too harsh or what? Do you think that's all these women are relegated to, or is she trying to make what she does seem not so abnormal? Because she's been known to get with young NBA players. I think she in her mid 30s and getting with NBA players in their 20s,
right?
To get money, and she said she don't have a problem with it. That's summarizing it. I think she even had a baby by NBA player or something to that effect. So, what do you think about that? Do you think that that's a good, categorization of what she's trying to say about these women, or is she just trying to make herself not feel or look as bad?
Yeah, I think she's pleading her case with the type of woman she is, I guess, and trying to, like you said at first, normalize it, because wow, Jay, this is so heavy for me. I'm reading everything in the post, and I'm like, wow.
I know. And one thing about these two women that she chose is that they both been with their man since damn near high school. I think Aisha Curry met Steph Curry when they was at a Bible camp or something like that, when they were either about to graduate or just graduated high school. And
they met at Bible camp?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's like a really good place to meet somebody.
I guess let me sign up for Bible camp.
Well, they was really, really, really young too. I ain't never heard of Bible camp. Plus, he lived in the Bible Belt, right around North Carolina. So I don't know. I never heard of a Bible camp getaway or something like that. But I guess they go on. And Savannah James had been with LeBron since high school.
Right.
So
she picked out the quintessential molds of a quote unquote perfect woman.
Pretty much, they've been with their man for a long time. So yeah, I think that she's maybe trying to make herself look better by bringing them down. Barika says she looking for emotional intelligence in a man. Tamika said communication is definitely key. We can't be talking at each other. Respect, trust, and stability.
Absolutely. I agree, Tamika. I fully agree. Talking at each other is something that a lot of people do. So that means there's no listening, there's no understanding, there's no application of, wisdom or compassion, because you're not even talking to listen, you're just talking at the person. At is the key word that you use there.
Big Ron, he's from the North Carolina area, and he said they met at a church youth camp in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
So I knew it was something like that.
Private school.
He definitely did go to private school, and he even went to private school for college because most big colleges, basketball colleges, passed up on him. They didn't think he would be that good.
Okay.
And now he's like probably the greatest shooter in NBA history, so they look stupid. Damian Kinney says Brittany is in her late 20s. Her baby daddy, PJ Washington, is a basketball player in his early 20s. Okay. He got her pregnant. They married. She left him 2 weeks after birthing the son.
Oof.
Oof. So she had a plan in place. Get the boy with the money, get the baby, get the bag, get out.
Get out. Okay.
Is that wrong?
Hell yeah, it's wrong. You can, because I'm thinking if that's my son, we're gonna have to a search party for her. That can't happen. Are you kidding me?
Right. And she gonna try to keep custody of the baby, of course, so she can get child support and money from him.
Everything, Jay. Everything.
Yeah. And he got millions of dollars in NBA earning potential, and now he caught up with this woman, and that's being nice.
Yeah, let's be let's be nice, Jay.
Right. That's being nice. So I mean, that's messed up. All right, let's play this clip again. Let's see the rest of what this dude talking about right quick.
Yeah. All right.
I grew up in a 3-parent household. My mom, my father, and my grandmother.
Okay.
And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch. Okay, what's the difference? A woman. Okay. A bad bitch is a person who's just, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part. Okay. And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs. Right. And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, like you can't cook. Okay. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead. I grew up.
All right. One thing, I was just reading this comment. This woman, Real Yanni, said, what's funny? These ninjas cheat anyway. Savannah is getting cheated on, and so is Aisha Curry. Brittany Renner got cheated on. These men cheat because they want to. Submission and being quiet have never worked, so now women bark back. It's a problem. Women are oppressed because it doesn't matter how cooperative, feminine, reasonable, and kind you are. If a man wants to dog you out, he will. That's Cam Newton.
Yes, that's Cam.
Man, I didn't know who in the world this was, man. He looked like some OG wannabe pimp.
That's Cam.
Man, oh man. He really didn't
That's why Ron said it's coming from the wrong messenger.
Man, I couldn't tell who the world this was.
Yes.
Cam wants to talk about leading. When he led his girlfriend into being a baby mama, he had no intentions of marrying her, and this is what happens when you give a man that leadership. Often with men today, they lead you nowhere. Brittany knows something that I know. Those women used as the example are both being cheated on. Marriage is a business because what other benefits do we women reap while being disrespected and cheated on in a marriage? Welcome to queen status. Queens always had to worry about a mistress. That's what they don't tell you. First of all, I want to say, don't even compare an athlete to a man, the average man. They're young, they're famous, and they're millionaires, where they have groupies and women throwing themselves at them all the time. Ain't no regular man living that life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a regular man ain't in his 20s with the world in the palm of his hand with millions of dollars before he's even matured. And I think athletes are dumb because I would have a vasectomy and I wouldn't get married until I was retired. Why are they getting married and having all these baby mamas? Why? That is the dumbest thing ever. I mean, of course, I still would use condoms. I have a damn endorsement deal.
Right?
I would have an endorsement deal with condoms, one of the first athletes to do so. But I would not have any kids while I'm playing pro ball. That's ridiculous. Why?
I agree. I mean, it's a double-edged sword because you do want to have your family. You don't want to wait until it's too late. But oh my gosh.
I mean, they retire in their mid-30s at the worst, 40 years old. I mean, you could still have a kid and, you know, be 58 and he graduating high school. They ain't in great physical condition. They athletes.
All right.
You know, so I don't know, man.
I don't know, but I don't think that this stuff is, you see, what happens is this, right? The point that he made, yes, it's coming from Cam, and his reputation and his history is a little distorted. But if you listen to what he's saying you still be your own woman, but you do know how to cater to your man. So either it's your husband, your fiance, you know, your live-in boyfriend. To me, that still is necessary. And those are the things that help the relationship to actually grow in a special way. It's not the old school version of, you know, you got to have this hot plate on the table. I think things are a bit different, right? But still, as women, I think if we find that balance, even when things go crazy, we still be strong enough to be like, you know what, this is a dub, I'm out. But because you have all the things to help you elevate, you know what I mean? It's not just you suppressing and taking and taking and taking, and then you use and abuse, and then he cut or cheated, and you know, no, you creating a better version of yourself by that balance factor. Because he's not saying don't be the woman that you are. He's saying that it has to have other complements to cater to a man. And the same way I think a woman should cater to a man, I believe the man has to cater to that woman as well. So it's not like one-sided for me. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with you. And as you grow in a relationship and care about one another, you want to make a meal for your woman. You know, you want to do things to make her happy and smile. It ain't always just only sex is the only way, or buy something. You know, the little things, like you said before in another show, that add up and make you consider the relationship more.
Yes, true.
So, there you go. Tamika said, I was with my other half for 16 years. Unfortunate stuff happen out here. It's scary. Might stay single. First,
Tamika, don't stay
for your
single.
loss.
I know.
Yeah. Just don't be giving up the cookie too quick. But sorry for your loss. And these dudes, it is scary. And the older you get, the worse it is, because people have lived their life. You could have been a crackhead or, you know, on the corner slanging and selling things for 15 years, and now you acting brand new with me, and I'm walking around, and next thing you know, people are snickering and laughing when they see us together. Or, you know, the same thing, you could be with a crackhead, Pookie Jones, and he didn't clean his life up last year, but he forgot to tell you he was a crackhead for the last 15 years. You don't even know. You over here thinking you got a good man.
I hope he never told me, Jay. I hope he never told me. I want to stay in the dark and have everybody laugh at me because he a good man now.
Oh, I don't know. You need to let me know so I can assess the relationship. How honest can you be? If you was out there, that's a good question. If you in a relationship, y'all let me know. Put a 1 for let me know and put a 2 for don't tell me. If you meet somebody, say you 40 years old or you in your mid to late 30s, if you meet somebody and they was a crackhead or living a drug-filled life for 10, 15 years, do they need to tell you? And if you are meeting a woman and for 10, 15 years or longer, do you need to know? You need to tell me. And then I will decide, do I want to stay with you or not? If you hide that from me, then I really never knew who the hell you was.
But you're not that way no more, Jay. Not that I disagree with you.
You try
because
I didn't tell me.
I do on one hand, but then if I really like you now, how can I forget the past? Ugh, I can't forget what you just said.
Because I can now see that you've changed a lot, and now I can decide, do I want to be with you still or not? You're tricking me now. You on your good behavior.
Yeah, you gotta make me like you, because if you tell me that up front, it's a dub. It's a dub.
You ain't gonna take into account they doing better?
Nah, I can't get past that. So you gotta make me like you a little bit first.
Well, yeah, we don't say it on the first date. Hey, I was Pookie Jones. How you doing? Yeah, I mean, let me get to like you a little bit before we start unloading and unpacking all our life. But before I really am in love with you, you do need to let me know so I can decide, do I want to continue this or not? Because if you allow me to fall in love and then I find out from somebody else, or, you know, right before we get married or after that, I'm going to be furious. Because I'm going to feel like you tricked me. You set me up. You lied to me. You deceived me. You took away my chance to make that decision for myself. And now I don't know what you could be lying about in the future. So you can Mika say, I want to know. I know that's right. Me too. Kendall said, I need to know off rip in order to make a decision. I know that's right. Tamika said, I'd rather hear from you than someone else. I know that's right. Damien said, tell me everything. I'll tell you everything. You'll never hear about me through the grapevine. Exactly. Teresa said, if a person been sober from drugs, I would assume they going to AA meeting. They may not tell you they are or not. That's why I'm saying you need to let me know all this stuff. You say they need to spill the tea. True be told.
That's fee, Jay.
28 years passed 7 years ago. I don't want to date anyone at this time. I'm 42 now. Man, you guys were married most of your life. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry for your loss. He passed away pretty young too.
You just gotta wait till the time is right. You know how she said, how long do you wait till the time is right? God is gonna speak to your spirit and you're gonna get that answer, and then you make the move.
I agree. It's a different time for everybody. I can't tell you 6 months or a year. It may be 5 years for you. It may be 6 months or less for you. Whatever the case may be, when you feel up to it, then that's what will happen. Or if God puts somebody in your life and it just happens naturally,
Right.
So you never know. But you guys spend so much time together that you definitely need some time right now.
Yeah.
So, Derry said it needs to be a day one confession.
That's no chance. Like, to me, that's no chance. I can't give you a fair chance if I know that off the rip, Jay.
Yeah, day one confession. That is, yeah, I won't know about that. I might not.
Make me like you a little bit first, so that I got some gas to work with here. I can't just oof.
Right. She said day one. Woo.
Like, hey, hello, my name is Kelly. I used to be a crackhead. Nice to meet you. That's not good.
No, right? Damn. That's a lot. I'd be like, this girl crazy.
I know.
That is hilarious. Teresa said, therefore, honest with you, themselves, and those around you. If they're not honest with you up front, they won't be honest with anything else.
Oh, God.
I do believe in that, but not day one.
Because you can imagine what stories the other people in your past would have to tell you all these negative things. They wouldn't have anything good to say, because especially if you're dealing with drugs, there's a lot of stuff got to go with that, Jay. So it's like, that relationship is over.
I know. For some reason, my dang on camera keep loading and unloading.
Yeah, you getting glitchy, Jay.
I know, right? But yeah, man, you definitely need to let me know. But I don't know. Teresa said you got 3 dates max to let me know.
All right, Teresa, I'm with you on that one. 3 dates max.
I might not care that much more in 3 dates than I would in one.
I'm still sticking on. You gotta make me like you first, because if I'm not gonna be able to find a way to get over that news, Jay, I'm sorry.
You definitely better let me know before we do any activities, because I might need would they or say forget it. All right, we got another guest in the building. What's up, Barika? How you doing?
Hi, Barika.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Good. All right.
You outside? Just talking about
right at Walmart shopping, but I wanted to chime in for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate it. Definitely. We was just talking about how long does a person have to let you know they used to be on drugs or a prostitute or living a crazy life. Some say 3 dates. Some say before we really get too involved with each other. What do you think? How long? Person?
Life is short. I always use the direct approach. So I like to get the hard questions out of the way. Like, I mean, we grown, right?
Barika tells you he's been a crackhead for the past 10 years on the first date.
Well, I wouldn't want to be with Pookie. So I would rather Pookie tell me that he had those kind of issues. So I could just, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can't buy him a drink because he has issues with his sobriety, but I guess I could get him like a falafel sandwich or something and then keep it moving. But like, before I got married, I always had a rule of just getting those hard questions out of the way on the first date. Mm-hmm. So like my first dates, I always ask about kids because I don't want kids. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's off the rip. First date, you got kids? Do you want kids? Yes or no? If there's a delay on the no, I'm out of there.
That ain't as bad as I used to be a male prostitute, or I was on drugs or heroin for 10, 15 years. That's a lot more to unpack, in my opinion. Maybe if somebody tells me on the first date or first couple dates, then I'm automatically like you. I'm done. I'm not even gonna probably go too far with it. If they let me know within maybe the first month, then I'll probably consider everything a little differently. Now, if they let me know 6 months or a year later, now I'm mad. Now we got a problem. Yeah, you didn't let me on and trick me. You definitely need to let me know in the first month, though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've been fortunate in that instance where I haven't dated a guy that had those kind of issues, you know, but I did date a guy before who hit a whole kid. He had a whole kid that he like didn't admit to. So it was just strange because, I mean, that's your kid. You shouldn't deny your kids. I don't care if you got 11 of them or one. You know, if that's your kid, that's your kid. But yeah, that was strange, dating a guy who I ended up finding out had a child he didn't admit to. And then I dated a guy before and found out later that he was married and didn't know it. So that was strange too.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
definitely need to let you know if they married on it.
And I had asked him before, like, had he been married before? Those kind of things, because he had kids. And so he told me he was divorced, and I did do, you know, my little due diligence and researching and making sure that was the case. But I found out later in the midst of us dating, like 2 or 3 weeks in, that he had gotten married. But I didn't know, like, you know, that he, before that, because I would never dated him had I known he was married. And it was like real haphazard, where this lady was a client of mine. And so I was just linking up with her. I was doing a service for her. And we were just, you know, having a conversation. And so we were just on the topic of dating and men, you know, those kind of things. And so I was telling her, oh, I recently started dating this guy, blah, blah, whatever. He's pretty cool. And he had a unique name. And so in the midst of me, I was in the middle of doing her hair and my phone rang. And it was him. So I was like, can you just grab it for me and just tell him I'll call him back? So when she saw the picture and the name, she's like, you know him? Like, she's like, I went to college with him. She's like, I was at his wedding. I'm like, you was at his wedding? Like, when was this? She's like, last month. Yeah, that relationship was over. I was out of there after that. But yeah.
But that's an easy decision because you know he's a scoundrel. I mean, you know, that was easy to run from.
Scoundrel. I love your words.
Yeah.
Damian Kinney said, what if you dating a guy that's an exotic dancer? Can you deal with his job? What's up? What y'all think about that? That's a good question.
Hey, boo. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm married now, but you know what I mean? He probably got some moves on him. He probably know how to work something. You know what I'm saying? So,
I dated one before, Jay. I dated one before. It was short, but it wasn't
so what,
that bad.
What happened?
Huh?
Okay, you lady.
Oh, Jay, you glitched. I can't hear you.
Do you the customers?
Do you have the what?
You're still glitching? What in the...
A little bit.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right. Have you ever thought that maybe they possibly were cheating with some of the ladies at the job? No. Still glitching?
No, not that bad. No, I didn't think so at that time. And when I met him, I didn't know that's what he did. My friend took me to an event and they had some performances there, and I was just like, what is going on? And I don't know, I didn't have a problem with it. He was a cool dude.
What did you think when you was dating? You never thought he may be sneaking
Nah,
around any of that?
he was a real cool dude. I didn't think that his side job was, you know, going to make a difference. Definitely, I didn't have that was the least of my concerns. But it was exciting just to, you know, see the acting.
Right. Definitely. My thing is still glitch. I don't know why it would be glitching with all the stuff I got.
It's better now.
It's better.
I can see my modem is red right over here. So all right. That ain't good. I did myself date a dancer one time. I didn't know that she was a dancer. I didn't meet her at that. So I mean, it didn't necessarily bother me either like that. I mean, we never got serious like I was like in love and really checking everything she was doing. So I don't know.
Maybe it's
how
because she was
that
Jay.
You say what?
Maybe was it because she was a stripper? It didn't get serious?
No, she was always, I don't know. She was very busy. I probably should have I was busy too. And we just kind of lost contact. I think she moved or something. I should have probably kept in contact, but I really wasn't like that into her type of thing like that. We just kind of ended up meeting and hanging out and stuff, but it wasn't never nothing. I don't know. Teresa says she dated OMG. I dated a guy 4'9" before, and she's 5'10". How in the world? But she was a little baby man. She had a little baby man. Well, he must have made up for them inches somewhere else. I don't know how that worked.
That's why he was 4'9", Jay.
Right.
He technically was the right height. He was right where he needed to be. Go ahead, sis.
I'm done, Marika.
He just walked right on up. Wow. That's different. That's a whole foot taller than him. Could you date a guy a foot shorter than you? Marika, you would have a baby.
Exactly.
Because I'm already short as is, so that's a no.
You have a little Ewok.
She got a little son with her.
I know,
for
right?
real.
Definitely. We got Larry in the building. What's up, Larry?
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Hey, what's up, man? Teresa thought that was funny with the little man, the right height for you.
Yeah.
He can pull on up and get a plate.
I'm done.
All right, this video you sent me earlier on Instagram in the week, and it says this guy is saying that men are disposable to most women. Let's hear what he had to say. A little bit of this.
Most women see men as disposable. And what I mean. Okay, so let me be serious for a moment. We're just clowning, but I was still serious in the other video. There is too much attention to detailed about what a woman needs to be, and we are now spending so much energy as men creating content, trying to find various ways of proving our innocence while always being guilty about how we treat women. Because at the end of the day, another man trying to explain or mansplain how a woman should be is ridiculous. At the end of the day, what we need to focus on is how we can be better as men. And let me tell you why, which nobody seems to keep addressing. At the end of the day, the more qualified, the more character, the more substance, the more love, the more honesty, the more prepared we are as men, the more is pressure for a woman to realize what goodness looks like. Think about this. If more of us as men would govern ourselves and work more on ourselves, go to therapy, have mental health, take care of our finances, actually be there for our children, whether the woman we want to be in a relationship doesn't want to be with us or not, or even going through hell and water and fire for our children, should be the most important thing, that we still stay present as a dad. That would be more powerful than us spending our time creating content, talking about how bad women are and how men are disposable to them. Both sides make each other disposable, depend on who you deal with. And then we have to question, as men, why is it that we keep dealing with women that treat us as disposable? Maybe they see you as a trash can. Or maybe they see you as trash. So when they see you, they want to dispose of you because you are temporary. But as someone who's been married 18 years and have a bunch of friends who have wives over 20 years and homeboys who've been married 7, 8 years and have healthy relationships, they're not disposable men. There's something that people want to keep because their character shows that you can't just put them in their life and easily get rid of them because they have impact. A lot of men don't have a lot of impact in this world because they spend more time worrying about trying to control a woman instead of learning how to control their own emotions and having emotional intelligence. So I'm going to say it again. Instead of making content where we spend most of our time trying to critique women, how about we spend more time improving the culture and the strength and the health of men? Because the stronger we are as men, the more quick we are as men, the less we got to do all this whining about how women ain't treating us. Because to be honest with you, ain't no real grown man going through what you're talking about. I know I did. I got my heart broken, but I wasn't disposable. And when you're a good man, every time a good woman gets rid of a good man, she always regrets it and she always wishes she could come back to it. So maybe it's more about our character than it is theirs. Just food for thought. Let me know what you think.
All right. Well, what do you think, Kelly? What you think about what he just said?
So one of the standout things that he said is something that I touched on a little earlier in regards to you might get your heart broken, but you know really where you stand. You know what I mean? And to me, like, the sad thing is that people who are in fruitful, prosperous relationships, we don't hear them as aggressive as the people who bash relationships on either side. So we really don't get a balance of information because you more so hear the people who are complaining, I don't need him, says he said the wrong word, bounce to the next, blah, blah, blah. We hear that all the time. So we don't really get a balance of it to see these people who are flourishing in relationships talking about good relationships, because the other crazy stuff is so dominant, in the social media world. But I mean, I agree with what he's saying, because yes, there are good men out there and there are good relationships to be had out there. But a lot of these women, they want to be the it girl or that girl who's saying like, boom, he said the wrong thing 2 days ago and I'm out because some other dude is behind your crutches. And at the end of the day, that's all he really wants. So you thinking the grass is greener somewhere else and you bouncing and you're not seeing the value of working through something with a good, upstanding man.
I like that. Barika, what you think about all of that?
I'm looking at the comments. I see some other ladies in here that agree. Yeah, I agree with Kelly. A lot of stuff that he said was true. The point and take that I did like with him was he came from the perspective of a man who's married. Like, as opposed to like the first clip with Cam Newton. Not only because the outfit was awful, because his fashion just, he needed a stylist, but
horrible.
Like, you got 4 kids by your ex-girlfriend now, and then you cheated on her while she was pregnant with another chick and had a baby by another chick. But you're talking about what you expect or want in a marriage, but you're not married. So it's like you have to lead by example. So in the second clip, I really respect that because he was coming from the perspective of a husband, of a father who carries that role. And not only just talking about how people make their mistakes on both sides, but also holding himself accountable. A lot of forums that you do see where people talk on nowadays, it's people so quick to project their own frustrations or insecurities onto other people and completely absolve themselves of their level of responsibility in this situation. So, I mean, in order for things to work, whether you're Black couple, white couple, interracial couple, whatever, right? It still takes both parties to truly be able to come together to make it work. Anything short of that, it's going to be dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with what both of you all said, and I think he was right on with saying about the part and perspective of being a quality person. And yeah, somebody may break your heart and things, but they don't just dispose of you because they know in the end what you brought to the table. And even if they don't come back and they don't want to admit it because of pride or whatever, they know deep down they made a mistake.
They know what the deal is.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I definitely agree with that view and take on what he said. And it is a better perspective than the man that's always out there saying the things he want, like you said, like Cam Newton. And they ain't the good model of what to be themselves. So definitely. So that is true. Last topic we talk about real quick is the family unit, and being equally yoked as well. What do you think is the importance of being equally yoked, Kelly?
I think it's extremely important. And I think what people need to understand is equally yoked is not literally 50-50. It's the blend of 100%. So say, for example, you're bringing 30% and I could bring 70%, as long as we're understanding that it meets a compromisable 100%, that's equally yoked, because I may have strengths in one capacity that outweigh yours, vice versa. You may have strengths that outweigh mine, but as long as we can come together to make that 100% as far as understanding is concerned, I think that creates longevity in a relationship. So I believe in being equally yoked. We have to have we don't have to agree on everything, but once we can meet each other somewhere to see that it's worth it, then that's what it's all about.
Right. Right. Sometimes people are expecting the other person to get somewhere where you should have looked at that from the get-go instead of thinking you can help that other person change, whether it's the male or female. On the other side, maybe that person won't change. So you have to take that into account before you decide to go long-term with somebody. If you are a person that got a good head on your shoulder and enjoy learning, then you shouldn't be with a person because they got the look or how they make you feel, because eventually you'll get tired of talking to somebody that can't conversate with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you are money conscious or financially conscious, you can't be with a financially vicarious person who doesn't understand that they need to evolve that nature. So if they understand they could evolve, then maybe it's something to work with. But if their habits are, financially, out the door, you can't deal with that person. That's not equally yoked.
Exactly. Marika, what you think about being equally yoked with somebody? Do you think a person can evolve and change? Of course, it's possible, but should you try to, or should you look for somebody that's already somewhat on the same page as you?
If you're coming into a relationship like expecting a person to change, you might as well stop right at the door. Quit where you're at. Stop while you're ahead. Just because you can't change other people. People change if they want to. It doesn't matter how much love you extend, how much you do for that person. If that's not who they are, they're going to always revert to just being their natural selves. So just choose to be with someone who believes their lifestyle, their value system, where those things already align with you. I mean, granted, people evolve over time, people change, but what's the core of that person? If the core of that person is good nature, is good hearted, if that person is with you for who you are, and the love is reciprocal, you can work through anything. Just because, just the finances kind of situation. People can be broke today and rich tomorrow. and vice versa, right? So that shouldn't be the basis of you being with a person. You know, things do change. But if there are all those things in life that are like just a no deal breaker, I'm not negotiating. Like, you don't want kids, right? Don't get with a person who says they want kids, because that's not fair to that person. Right. It's not equally yoked, you know, and don't come into it thinking like, oh, you know, I'm going to change her mind, or I'm going to change his mind, and I'm going to make them do what I want to do. No, just see it for what it is. And, you know, that's the one sign of true love, is if you're able to put everything on the floor, and if that person chooses to stick it out with you, then you know you got something good. You got something good on your hands. You shouldn't have to be shy on who you are as a person, even when you're at your worst. You know, when it's supposed to be a person that's supposed to be your spouse, even when they on their worst behavior, you still help to speak life into that person, uplift that person. So it should be vice versa. That's really what things are about, is really just communication and reciprocity.
Definitely. And that's going back to what we were saying earlier about a person's past life, whatever it may be. You need to let me know, so that even if you're worse, I can still know who you are. And if I'm here and choose to stick it out with you, then you know you got a real one. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you didn't let somebody know what you did or not do, how could you ever know? Now, I do think the timing is important when you let it all out. Don't wait too late and don't do it too soon, but it does need to be at that right spot. You know, you don't want somebody catching feelings, or you getting ready to walk down the aisle, or already have, and then you let somebody know certain things. They may feel duped.
They feel the junkie crew in the back row.
You know what I'm saying? You know, right. Don't let them know you got 5 kids by 3 different women. And, oh, I forgot to let you know this. But you're different. Oh, heck no. You know, so definitely. Kendall say most people don't realize their highs and lows in a relationship, which sometimes compromises will be made in order to move forward.
Absolutely. I agree.
Truth be told, said the yoke is made to carry heavy load. We need to understand how we manage problems and adversity as well, laying good foundation of matching strengths. Okay. Teresa said, my husband and I, who is 6'3", she put a big smile on that one.
Okay.
Started working at the same job. He was working there longer than me. Once I resigned and found a job with better pay and benefits, he quit and got a better job. Okay. I hear that. To stay on your level, huh?
Yes, and what happens is when you're looking at an equally yoked union, it's a building union also, because you have understanding, right? You have relatability, you have compromise, you have consideration, which is key, right? To have that bond to be equally yoked to someone. And if you don't have it, you will be functionally dysfunctional until it depletes itself. That's just it. So it's good to find that within someone, so you can build. You know what I mean? A lot of people have religious boundaries that, you know, affect relationships. You believe something, the other person doesn't, but you really like this person, but that thing is thick in the middle and you can't move forward. You can't progress.
Yeah, political as well.
Exactly, political as well. Like I spoke to a guy and he said from COVID, the vaccine, his family is now absolutely divided. And it rooted from a political perspective as well. And then you look at that like, but your family's divided. He was like, yep, my dad doesn't talk to me. This person doesn't talk to that person. And we are separated at this point. So if you're getting into a union and you have these big things that you hold fast to, your, you know, whatever, I don't know, the lifestyle. I find another word I'm looking for, but you hold fast to certain things and you need to be able to put it out there in the beginning, first 3 dates, right? First 3 dates to see if you connect to the person. Hold on, let me write that one down too. First Every day. I'm gonna be like Barika. I'm claiming I'm being like Barika next year. I'm gonna be like, yeah, today, and I'm married, and this is how it works as a married woman like me and Barika.
But one thing that I found is like if it's a guy who is good-hearted and he wants a monogamous relationship, he wants a commitment, he wants to get married, they tend not to even get mad when you ask those questions in the beginning, because that sends a red flag to him that you ain't about wasting no time. You just put it all out there. So what we gonna do? Like, I mean, life is short.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so you have the women and they'll rather be in it 15 years and nothing. I mean, that depends on that person. If that's you, knock yourself out. But for me, it was two things in life I wasn't going to do. And I wasn't going to be somebody's baby mama. And I wasn't going to be a long-suffering girlfriend.
Right. But you know, to piggyback on Barika, she's right. When a man is interested in being serious with you, that intention is made very clear from Jump Street. So you see, when women are like, oh, they've been tagging along for all this time, sweetie, he was never really that interested in you to progress. He was interested.
You know, he's serious. He may see you, girl, you gonna be my next baby mama.
Yeah, listen, if a guy says that, believe him. That's what he wants. That's all that he wants.
We said believe him.
Believe him. That's all that he wants. He don't want nothing else from you. Right. To me, in my experience, men have always made it very clear from jump. This is what they want. You know, so I think if a man is serious, he makes his intentions very, very, very clear. And that's something that women should put in their back pocket. Like, all right, I hear you. And or I'm not hearing what I want to hear. So I know you ain't serious.
Yeah. And I agree with you, Kelly. That's one thing that I did get from the clip with Cam Newton is that with women, if we're silent, we will get all the information we need to get because the man will eventually tell him himself. So if he feels like he wants to vent and open up and speak his mind, let him have that comfortable space where he can open up and be himself. And that way you can get the truth serum from there and figure out what you want to do from there. Because, you know, sometimes with women, and I understand like the need or urge to want to love and receive love, but you got to get it from a person who wants to get it from you, right? You don't want to be with the guy who you have to pressure him to being with you. So when he's opening up and he's telling you what his intentions are and how he sees you in his life, take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Damien got a good question though. So how long are you holding on to the cookie in a relationship?
Oh Lord. Barika, you go first on that one.
You meet a guy, you like him. How long before you decide to go to the next level?
It depends on the situation, right? Okay, in a perfect world, you wait till you're married. That's what I did in my previous marriage when I was 20. I waited till I got married. And would I do that again? No. So when I got with my husband, I didn't. I wasn't waiting no time. No, I basically devoted his life, and I gave him a 90-day notice. Like, look, I like you, and I know you like me because we've been friends this whole time, but you ain't never said nothing. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put the ball in your court. I'm gonna give you 90 days to clear out your phone. You know, do whatever you need to do. Put these chicks on notice.
The 90 days.
We're together. That's it. That's all. Point blank. Period. And
now
we were married. We were married like in a year. So
it worked.
Yeah.
So I agree with Barika. Definitely I'm not an advocate for waiting till marriage because there's a lot of stuff that people need to sort out in between. However, I also think it's definitely about what feels right to you. I don't think that you should do anything before you're comfortable, point blank and period. I just think that women also need to be aware that you can't stop a man from doing what he want to do if you're not comfortable. Because that's not his position. That's your position. So until you get to that point, you can't block him. And, you know, I'm not ready, so she shouldn't do anything. I don't think that's right either. But that's, I think, one of my quirky things. But I think that you should be honest and comfortable with the decision you make for yourself.
Yeah.
But I like Marika's rule. I'm writing that down too on the list. 90 days. Yo, shit.
Right. And
I'm laughing at Trey in the comments saying 3 dates, but she's kidding.
Right.
I totally get it. I'm done. Yes.
But what Barika said about the 90 days is real, because when you're meeting somebody, they've been living before knowing you to a certain extent, or being in that relationship with you. So whether it's a male or a female, they probably already was messing with somebody or talking to somebody. So
fans, Jay, it's the fans. You got fans. Come on now. We all got a couple fans.
Right. So you give them at least time, like she said, to tell everybody, put them on notice. I'm done. I'm moving on. Right. And then after that, you can't be messing with them no more. It's me and you. So that's actually really smart to be realistic with that, and to say, all right, I know you may have been doing this or that. It's all good. Put them on notice. We done. And it's me and you, and we moving forward. And if you ain't good with that, then I'm out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's definitely good. Kendall said, facts, Kelly.
Facts, Kendall.
She liking your list.
My list, exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already.
Right. And last, before we get up out of here, do you think the family unit is still important, or do you think that nowadays people don't need a family, or a big family, a small family? Does it make a difference? What do you think? I think it's important, but I think its importance is going down a little bit. Most people I know, families are not that tight as they should be. When I do hear about that, I'd be like, damn, I wish, I had that, or people, I know, was like that. So I don't know. Barika, what you think about the family and all of that importance?
Yeah, I'm huge advocate when it comes to the family unit. As to a person's choice to procreate or not, I completely believe that that's up to that person as to whether they want to do that or not. Like for me, I'm the queen of not this uterus. I ain't want no kids. I ain't got no kids. I ain't having no kids, and that's that on that. But I do understand the importance of community when we talk about family units. So even like for my godchildren and me being that extra parental like figure in their life and investing in them and teaching them things, helping them as far as their education, all those different things, it matters. And the world that we live in, especially as Black people, it's so often where you see kids that don't have a solid mother figure, father figure. And so we really do need all hands on deck. So it's important that we do have some type of structure that these kids are able to see. So whether they don't even have a per se like a solid, 2-parent home in their dwelling, they at least should have somebody that they know where they're functional, productive adults being able to have a productive marriage and life together, so that kids are able to see that. That representation really matters for us in community. Because if you don't value that family structure, it's easy for you to repeat the same mistakes of the past. And so going forward as Black people, we see the strength in what happens when we have that 2-parent household. Kids get to have that balance. So it's important that we do really set a solid foundation, placing value on what matters most, instead of looking for a chick that's a baddie. Look for a woman that's valued as far as her level of importance and what she values in life. Her character, right? Her heart. What does she do for the people that are close to her? What does she do for the community that she lives in? How does she uplift those people? And vice versa for a guy that, a woman chooses to date. So all those different things together really make a difference, whether if you choose to birth children or not. But understanding that kids really need that solid foundation, because at the heart of a lot of things, when you see kids going to prison, the first thing they say is, oh, I got involved in a gang because I was looking for love. They were looking for that attention. When you see girls who've had multiple children by multiple men at a young age, they're often looking for love in the wrong places because they didn't have that structure at home. So we really have to place importance on family unit.
Definitely. Also, let me give a shout out to Remy. Remy, we miss you too. We had to talk in Discord.
Hey, Remy.
Come through, Remy.
Definitely. We got Teresa. She said her mother walked out on her at 11 because her mother did the same thing, and that's messed up with me. That is definitely messed up, and that's on her, not because of you. Definitely messed up though. What do you think about the family and big family, small family, all of that, Kelly?
So again, I totally agree with Barika, 150%. And I just think that we should we need to expound more on the family, whether it's a big family or a small family, because I traditionally come from a huge family, but my family right now only consists of a few people, my intimate family, right? And I understand the blessings of that because of my son and his interaction with people that mean something in his life, right? He has his aunt, he has his uncle, he has his godmother, who's another aunt, right? And like Barika was saying, whether you have your own biological children or not, that doesn't, I don't want to say take you out of the title of a mother in a family setting, because sometimes that's where the village comes in. So you have people who may not have children for themselves, but is an integral person in your family setting. And I see that because of how my family structure is. I have chosen family members in my family now, and they are part of my village. And we all come together to help the next generation, which is my son at the moment, to come to the next level. So family is important. And I'm going to continue to agree with everything Barika said. You have these kids out in the street here, and the common denominator of them all is that search for that intimacy, that love that they're not getting for whatever void it was within the family, you know? So I believe that, like I was saying, in the relationship realm, we hear so much of the, you know, Jay, I'm trying to find the right words, but I'm going to use my words. We hear so much of the bangarang, all the craziness that's going on in relationships and families, and right? But we don't hear a lot of people expounding on the good nature, the virtue of families that do still exist. So you could get all of these different TikToks and these IG posts and the YouTube posts about all of this crazy stuff, but we never really hear about the people that are being virtuous and uplifting the family. And I do think that that's something that we need to expound on more, because we do have it out here. We exist, you know. How when I hear about you talk about your relationship with your son, it's something to really, really, really praise in a sense, you know, because you don't hear that. You know, you're quickly to hear the fathers running away from their children, but you don't hear about the fathers who are accepting the love and responsibility they have towards their family members. And that should be commended on a daily basis, you know? So yeah, family, and it doesn't matter if we're big, or we're small, but like Derry said, it is a dying culture that we need to expound on, because we for real. And we love our families, we love our spouses, we love our significant others. We really, really here. So we need to expound on it just a little bit more to balance off the crazy stuff that we hear about people running away from the family, because they're not the only ones that exist.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And, you know, it is a dying culture. I agree. Gina says, speak, Kelly.
Yes, Gina. Like, okay, let me interrupt. So, for example, we're talking about the family that we get, right? And I'm going to shamelessly plug Discord because it's meaningful to me. I'm not the person that is very friendly with a lot of people. So just being a part of Discord and allowing myself to be open and vulnerable with people has been a big deal. Gina called to check in on me today, right? You heard about the crazy stuff that was going on in New York and Brooklyn and blah, blah, blah. And she called to check in on me, and that meant so much to me today. And that's the representation of a family. So I have now an extended family with you, Barika, Crafty, everybody in Discord that you can build with that, and we share and we learn, and that's what a family is about.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Definitely.
big deal. That's a big deal, and we need to expound on that over and over and over to combat the people who want to run away and talk about, well, this didn't work, so I'm out. You're not meant to live alone.
Right. Definitely.
Sorry, I waffled a little bit, guys, but
you're doing good. The bangarang.
We don't want the bangarang at all, Jay.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. All right. I definitely appreciate y'all coming through. Definitely great insight and great, information shared today. I definitely appreciate it. Love chatting with you all the time. It's good that you all come and now, other people get to hear some of the great information that you ladies have and share. And, definitely appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. Barika, you want to say something before we get out of here?
Just good chat. Once again, thank you for having us on, Jay. And in addition to what my girl here just said, like, we really do need to see different representation in our community. And you are an exemplary example of that, and how you take care of your son and how you face adversity head on. Like the stuff you were saying in Discord yesterday, you don't even know like how many people you bless with your conversation. So thank you for your platform and just being you. Yeah, we appreciate you.
I just try to do what's right. Yeah, I just try to do the right thing, and I don't see it as doing anything special. I just try to do what's right,
Well, we see it that way, Jay, and we're not just in your horn. It's for real, for real. You're a real one.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Kelly, you want to say any words before we get out of here?
I second Barika's words. We appreciate you having us here. Listen, Jay, I don't want to go on, but I'm just trying to say you're doing a lot, okay? So we appreciate you having us on. We look forward to coming through next week, and I hope I'm not too surprised with the stuff you bring on next week, because today you have me like this, okay?
Hey, I was surprised that was Cam Newton. I didn't even know who he was.
I never saw those clips, so I was like,
"Old pimp, named Stickback,
dressed like Yogi Bear."
He been doing that, Barika.
Right, he looking crazy. And the word for today is bangarang.
Bangarang, aka the foolishness, something that don't make sense.
Right. And for those that don't know, Kelly from the islands, you let them know where you're originally from.
I'm Trini to the bone, guys.
There you go. So as well, and Barika got some island, roots as well.
You know it.
Yeah, I think that D come out sometimes. That Detroit.
We hear it every now and then.
You better bust somebody's head.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming. Everybody, definitely thanks for coming through. I see some people saying they need to come through Discord. Definitely, you don't know what you're missing. We do have a lot of good conversations and friendships and things. So it is pretty good group of people. I'll put the link in here if anybody want to join. And definitely I'll see y'all tomorrow for Snowfall. And everybody else, take care, have a good night. And I'll see y'all on the next one. All right. Peace.
Talk to you later, Barika.
It's J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'